Hello, this is Julie. Today I'm going to show you how to make a doily using Inspiration Pro 2014 software. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is make a circle. So I'm going to click on the oval icon on the left toolbar and then click on the second icon on the circle toolbar that opens at the top of the screen. This will allow me to draw a circle. I'm going to click and drag to make a circle. Yours may not be this color, it may be the last color you used. And I'm going to type C on my keyboard to bring up the transformation window and resize the select height and resize this to 6 inches and apply. So I have a 6-inch circle and I'm going to use this to wrap a shape or a set of shapes around it to make my doily. I'm going to make a doily using hearts, and there's a heart shape in your image gallery. You can click image gallery and you won't have all the same icons in yours, but scroll down to the S's and find shapes. I have so many things in here, but you will have this icon shape, so double click it to open the shapes and arrow down a bit and you'll find a heart shape. So I'm going to click the heart shape to add that to my screen. So now I have a heart shape here. I'm going to use Alt-D to duplicate that. Now I have two hearts, so I'm going to change this inside heart to about half the height of the original and just move it to where I have a small border between the bottoms of the two hearts. And I'm going to use Alt-D again to duplicate that heart and drag it over. And I'd kind of like it to line up with the bottom of the big heart. To do that, I'm going to double click on my ruler over here to add a guideline, and this will help me to align my heart where I want it. And I want it slightly overlapping the original heart, but not overlapping the center heart. So both of these hearts are aligned at the bottom, and I'm going to drag around these two hearts and use the transparent group or group with transparent icon at the bottom of the left toolbar so I can see through this. This gives me part of the design that I'd like. Now the next thing I want to add is a tiny circle here. I can duplicate this circle, Alt-D, and just drag it up real tiny. I don't need to measure it. You can make it however you want. I'm just going to put it under the original heart, and I would like another heart, so I'm going to use Alt duplicate, drag it down and resize this and position it to where it's below the circle and maybe halfway approximately. These are just estimations. You can make these any size and position that you want. You can use any shape that you'd like to use. Okay, now I have my design. I'm going to select the whole design and I want to resize the height of it to 1 inch. So I'll just type in 1 and apply. So now I have a 1-inch design. I'm going to move this guideline out of the way, and I want to drag it around this circle. So I'm going to select a circle and the hearts and go to Shape, Fit Object to Path, and this window opens here. I'm going to use the center alignment so the shape is centered around my heart. And under spacing, I'm going to click right next to that 0 and put a point and just type number, say 0.18. We'll start with 0.18. And I see that my design is separated, so I'm going to reset this, undo, and before I wrap it, I'm going to weld it so it's all one piece. Now I'll do this again, go to Shape, Fit Object to Path, and now it'll wrap all as one unit. And again, on spacing, I'll type a 0.184, but what I want is a minus number, and it won't let you add a minus number until you put in a whole number. I'm going to use my left arrow key, arrow back over to before the 0, and add a negative number. So now when I click the plus icon here, I'm wrapping shapes around my circle, and I'm going to keep clicking the plus sign until they're pretty close to the end here. Now if they don't meet, I would like all of them slightly overlapping, and I would like them to meet here. I can change this number a little bit. I'm going to backspace, and you notice that this space between these two is getting a little closer, so maybe if I type a 1, it makes it further apart, so I know I need to maybe go to 7, 9. Not quite enough yet. 8, watching it. 7. Now they're overlapping the way I want them. They need to all overlap because I'm going to weld them together. And when I'm done with that, I'll just close the window. And I have my design here. Now what I want to do is resize this circle just a little bit, because I would like it to overlap the points of the hearts, but not the opening in the heart. So I'm going to resize it down. I think if I resize it to 4.6 inches on the height, 4.6, enter, it's too small. So you can experiment with it, and you want to get it to where it's overlapping the ends of the hearts, leaving a little kind of a triangle shape here. So with the heart selected, with the circle selected, I'm going to now click on, I'm going to move this aside for a second, because what I want to do now is weld all these together. So I'm going to select them and click on the weld icon on the left toolbar. So these are all welded together. So now if I want to center this circle, I can select all of them, click on the justification tool, it's fourth from the top on the left toolbar, and click on the black square here, which aligns it horizontally and vertically at the same time. I can see now the circle is centered on the tips of all the hearts. Now I have that at 6.971 right now. It looks like it's overlapping everything. Now I'm going to bring the circle to the front so I can select it. And you see that I don't have the circle selected, so the circle's still in the back. I'm going to right click and bring it to the front. And now I'll just center these again. And what I need to do now is use wireframe so I can see everything that's going on. I'm going to select the circle and select the frame and click on this weld and subtract because I want to remove the circle from the frame and see if it works. Well, it took away all the center pieces, which I really did not want to do. It did subtract everything, but I wanted to keep those center things. So I'm going to use Control Z and do this again. But first, I'm going to break apart this by ungrouping. I use Control U to ungroup. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select the inner circle, then I'm going to select just the bottom parts of the heart and do the same thing, the weld and subtract. So we lost the circle. I'm going to undo it again, click on the circle and make sure it's in the front. Right click and bring it to the front. Click the circle first, hold the shift key and click the bottom zigzags and weld and subtract. Didn't work that time. We try again. I'll see what I have selected. And the reason that it's not working is when I select that circle, it is actually selecting the zigzag. So I need to send the zigzag to the back. Click it to back. Now if I select in the center of the circle, I'm selecting the circle, hold a shift, click the zigzag, and weld and subtract.